All right, I've got a new combo here that I'm trying out. I've never done this particular one before, but I have a couple of bowls here. As you can see, I have a larger one here and then a smaller one here, and I've made them with this neat little ribboned edge on them. Just using one of my trim tools, I kind of put that indention in there, just, you know, curving along as I went around. And they're real pretty. I'd like to really to have a nice break on this edge, because that's going to be really, really just decorative when this comes out. And these are almost, I would say, they stack well. They look almost identical in design and shape. And so it's going to be a neat little set with a larger one and a smaller one. But what I've done here is I have 3 coats of Honey Flux, inside and out. And you can see I've gone all the way down, and I've showed you guys before how I make this little cut. If I can back up, that little cut right there when I trim, lets it sit up, you know, kind of gives it a little platform there. Looks like it's floating a little bit. But I've gone all the way down to that and inside with 3 good coats of Honey Flux. So we're going to create some movement here. And then I've done Textured Turquoise. I didn't go all the way to the bottom on that. You can see I left a little bit of space because I expect the Honey Flux to carry that color down. It usually does. It'll pick that up, it'll flow in there, and it'll look really nice there. And then I went just to right there, left this part open at the moment. And on the inside, you can see I just went to that point right there. I left the middle open because I'm expecting the Honey Flux to carry it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put Ancient Jasper in this space right down to the Textured Turquoise. And we'll see what that does. I'm just going to put probably 3 good coats. This is a rather new bottle of Ancient Jasper. I'm used to this being very red, like my old blue Ratil used to be, very, very red looking. This is now really dark and rusty looking, almost burgundy colored. There had to be some kind of a change in the formula, different type of supplier, I don't know what they've done. It always scares me when I open a bottle and it doesn't look the way it used to. But you can see, I'm just going to put this in here. I'm going to get this on the outside. And I love Honey Flux. I've started buying it by the gallon because I use it with so many different things just to get the movement that I want out of glazes. And I'm just going to do this one bowl here so you can kind of watch. Again, I'm using my little Shimpo banding wheel that I highly recommend. I picked up one the other day. I was at the shop when I bought my new Shimpo VL Whisper. When that came in, I was in there and I grabbed another banding wheel for my wife that has, you know, you see me unload the kiln and she's doing all this painting and glazing, and she helps me glaze once in a while. But she's been saying, I really don't need one of those, I'm fine. She had an old wooden one from the kitchen. And I just thought, you know, she just thinks she doesn't need that. Until she gets it and she realizes, yeah, she's been driving a VW Beetle and now she's got a Cadillac. And so she was out here yesterday helping me, and she did kind of made that comment of, hey, thanks for picking that up for me, because this really works well. I like this this wheel, and it's I didn't say I told you so, but I did say I knew you would. I knew she'd like it if I just picked it up for her. And it wasn't, I got one that's a little bit smaller than this. I'm not sure the dimensions on it, but she works with smaller stuff than I do. And so I think it's probably an 8-inch. Yeah, it looks like it's maybe an 8 or 10 inch, probably 8 inch. And it works really well. It's a weighted, just like this one is, so when you spin it, it just keeps moving for you. I'm going to try to lift this up so you can see. This is my first coat of Ancient Jasper. And you can see I put it there on the outside, and I am just overlapping that textured turquoise, maybe just a hair, because I know we're going to get movement in there. And see what I'm doing on the inside. Ancient Jasper, textured turquoise, all on top of 3 coats of Honey Flux. So I'm going to finish this up. I've got another big bowl over here. I'll show you the one I just showed you. I guess while that one's drying, I can go ahead and do this. Looks like it's we're finally starting to get some winter weather here, or I should say fall weather. We're supposed to get our first hard freeze, or not, maybe not hard. It's supposed to be 32 degrees. We're supposed to freeze tonight, first time. Taking plants in off the patio and rolling up the hoses, putting those bib covers on, and all those things you do, getting ready for winter. My plan is to head to Pensacola here within the next few weeks. Take a little downtime, something we've started doing in November. It's quiet this time of year down there. I don't miss the crowds at all. And it's just really relaxing. Just hang out and check out some of the local vibes, go downtown. We may drive a little bit. I think she was saying there's something, a highway called 30E. Some of you may know what I'm talking about. Heads down past Panama City where we used to go when we were younger, but not anymore. And I guess down towards Seaside, St. Joe's, some of these other smaller towns down that way. Just do some sightseeing. It's always nice to just take some downtime and get away from everything before the holidays hit. We've actually been going during Thanksgiving the last few years. And this year we just decided, we've had a lot of different things have happened in the family this year that just kind of make us want to be around family right now. Hasn't been the most stellar year for us when it comes to family events and safety, and you know, I don't have to tell you, you deal with life, you deal with a lot of stuff, and things don't always stay the same. Life changes, and that's just the way it is. So you learn to deal with it and cherish the ones you love, you know? Family's one of the most important things in life, is just loving your family, being there for them, taking care of each other. That's where I'm at. All right, so again, here's the big one. We got that. Got one coat on here. I'm gonna let this dry a little bit. I'll hit this with the heat gun. I'm not gonna let you sit and watch me do all this, but like I said, we've got 3 coats of Honey Flux inside and out, all the way down. We did those lower layers of textured turquoise. I've got 2 layers of textured turquoise inside and out. Did not go all the way to the bottom here. Did not go all the way to the inside there. And I think that'll be fun to see how much movement we get that goes into those spaces we didn't cover. I always enjoy looking at that. So, and then we're gonna put 3 coats. I want to do 3 coats, 2 to 3 coats. You know what? I'm gonna do 2 coats of Ancient Jasper on both of these bowls. And then when I empty that kiln, you're going to see it. So stay tuned, it's coming up. Thanks for watching. Hi, we're getting ready to open the kiln, and this is my wife, who you see all her little paintings and stuff. So I got her to make an appearance with me. But we've got a kiln to open. It's got that bowl in it that I was talking about, and several other things that I'll try to describe. I came out early this morning. Move this up a little bit if we can. And this thing was at, I don't have a pyrometer, but I did put an ink bird in it, and it was at 174, so it was cooling. And then we went to church and came back, and here we are. This is the bowl that I did, which I got a very different result than I expected. Now, I love this rim, but this was 3 coats of Honey Flux. We had the textured turquoise down in this area, and then up at the top is where we did the ancient Jasper, and I did the same inside and out. And I love the color. It's a very mild, smooth, but sadly I got pinholes on the outside of this, if you can see that. And I don't know if that's because of my bisqueware or if it was the glaze combo. I'll tell you, this was really cleared until it got down to textured turquoise. And I'm gonna be real frank, I hate textured turquoise. It works with blue rutile, and I have problems with it on just about everything else, and I will not use it by itself anymore. It always crawls, it does horrible things. I've seen other people just in the last week on some of the pottery sites complaining about textured turquoise. It just doesn't work like it used to in the beginning. But, I mean, here's a section that's really pretty. It worked well. I didn't get the smaller bowl in here, and I will fire it later. And we'll have to see if it turns out the same or if I have any different, any problems with the pinholing on it. All right, this was a little refire with some underglazes, and our little grapes melted, it looks like. What happened was I gave this to my wife, to my lovely wife, to paint, and I forgot to line the inside of it. And so I had to refire it once I lined it, and obviously that was not good. We just kind of melted there. So here are a couple of little tumblers. This is speckled clay from Bracker's, and it has snow on the inside and over the top, and it came down a little bit farther to about here. The snow came all the way down to here. And then we did textured turquoise and blue rutile. And she overlapped, these are a couple that she glazed, and she overlapped that snow a little bit, and you can see how you get a really neat little break in here. And those are pretty, those are real pretty. There's a couple more. This is tourmaline with just oatmeal around the top. She's frowning. She wanted a different reaction from this than what she got. It's not going to do a whole lot. You'll get an accent up there around the top, and you get a little bit of dripping, but just not a lot. You've got to really put some heavier glazes on it. They're pretty. I put a little twist in these, so we've got some, you know, breaking from the tourmaline and all. Dancing mugs. And then this one was just, like I say, textured turquoise covered in blue rutile, and that combo seems to just work really well. You've got a beautiful inside, got a great looking outside, and textured turquoise plays well with blue rutile. But you know what? I think most of its other friends thinks it's ugly, and they probably talk about it and its mother. So I'm just quite put off with textured turquoise. Amaco. I've got some things in here I really hope turned out well. Fingers crossed. Well, look at that. This was a refire, and I still got some pinholes popping up in it, but it'll be okay. I had a couple of really big pinholes in this. This was just Honey Flux with cosmic tea dust, and it usually, if you see this little line right here, this is usually what it does. But with the second refire, it almost looks like ancient copper. But I still got some, I had 2 big pinholes that I'd used a Dremel to grind down and put fresh cosmic tea dust on. So it's just a pretty little vase. Here's a little shot glass I made. At some point I had probably 3-4 ounces of clay and I left on my wheel, and I just made a shot glass for no good reason. This is iron luster, plain iron luster. I just wanted to throw this in here. If you can see inside of that with some oatmeal around the top. That's a pretty little shot glass. And I had room, I was trying to get, I have so much I'm trying to get done right now. I had these 2 little pinch mugs. Oh, those turned out so nice. They really did. For my disappointments with the pinholes, I'm pretty excited about the way these came out. These are neat little pinch mugs, you know, where you've got your hands to hold, iron luster and oatmeal. Beautiful, beautiful combination there. Nice. Fingers crossed. Oh, I love it. It's a nice little pedestal bowl. This is nothing but straight honeydew. I may have gone a little heavy up here. I had this neat little ribbon on it and it did break, but she almost filled in there. But that turned out pretty. That's really nice. I love the way it kind of breaks in here. That's just a nice little platter. Almost seems like it's sunk even in the glaze firing. The item itself did. That's cool. All right, I've got a few more things here. We really got to a nice cone, 6 cones. Yeah, maybe I went a little past it right there in the middle. Got one more layer down here. A couple of things I'm really hoping turned out well. One for a sister-in-law. Oh my God, gorgeous. Let's see if it really did. It got to cone 6. Another pedestal bowl. I had a lot of chattering here. Filled in. This is straight Honey Flux on this little raised bowl. Yeah, no, it doesn't look like it. You're frowning at me over here, but I think I just put it on so heavy. I almost like it, I'll tell you, I almost like it thinner because I like the way it breaks, and it would have broke better if I'd have put less on here. But that is a pretty little bowl for decorating. And, oh, she's gonna be so happy with this, if it fits. This is the Northern Lights. Oh, that turned out pretty. On the platter, on a beautiful butter dish. She recently reached out to me and she wanted the olive oil bottle that I did in this, and then she asked me if I could do a butter dish in the same color. That's just nice. Whoever built that was just right on. All right, thanks for watching. That's all I've got in this kiln. Really appreciate you guys. I hope you'll like and subscribe, and I'll try to get more combos out to you. Have a great day. Bye.